All right, 5, 4, 3, 2.
Hello everyone and welcome to another issue of Nerd Nation. I am Brian here for Apocaflix Movies, and we are here to talk a little nerd stuff today, and that would be in the case of Marvel's Black Widow. We've got some Hulk and Namor rumors, and we're gonna touch on something little Morbius. You might have seen something recently about a Morbius trailer and what it could mean for the MCU. But as always, I am joined with my co-host Jake Berlin over here at the controls. He is on board with everything that we got. How are you doing, sir?
Tense right now.
Intense right now. Tense. My computer mouse is driving him nuts, and hopefully things will change.
Hopefully that'll get heated during these discussions. I apologize in advance.
Yes, if you see him punch anything, hopefully it's not my computer. But yeah, maybe. So we've got some good stuff today. We're gonna go in with our fun, spicy, if you will, topic, the one that everyone's talking about. Spicy, yes.
Spicy. Interesting.
That is the Morbius trailer. Yeah, so it just dropped. It's one of Sony's many planned, I'm sure, Marvel Spider-Man villains that are gonna get their own spin-off. We know Jared Leto is playing it. Director's name's Dan Espinosa?
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah, so we got our first taste of the trailer. As I said, Jared Leto is starring as Dr. Michael Morbius. We saw... It seemed like we saw a lot. It was kind of fast-paced trailer. Like, things were moving and grooving. To be honest, I've only seen it one time, and I feel like I still haven't even seen it. Should we just go into the biggest reveals, or you want to?
Yeah, I mean, the trailer. I mean, our topic for Morbius is based on its connection to the MCU and that of Sam Raimi's Spider-Man.
Yeah.
But as far as the trailer goes, I mean, it was cool. It's not like anything special.
I wasn't blown away by it.
It's not really anything special. I guess I don't know enough about Morbius to really understand what's going on.
Do you want me to give you a quick breakdown of what he is?
No, I'll learn throughout time. I know that he's a vampire, he's a scientist, and he does
he's
all that stuff.
He's a living vampire. Well, he's not Dracula in the sense he doesn't have powers. He can hypnotize.
Yeah,
and that's about it.
Yeah. So, just give me Blade. Really? Like, seriously, just give me Blade. That's all I really want.
I would love for an MCU Blade to kill off Sony characters.
I think that it's more interesting when this movie would have been more interesting if it was in the MCU, a la Spider-Man.
In the Disney MCU.
Yeah, so I mean, everyone's freaking out because obviously we saw Michael Keaton show up, his Vulture character. Yeah. The trailer post credit, which is weird.
Yeah.
He showed up at the end. And he was in the same exact outfit he wasn't when we saw him last in the post-credit scene for Homecoming.
In jail. Jail outfit.
And everybody's like, oh my god, this takes place in the MCU. Yeah, I mean, that could be the case, but we also have to remember Spider-Man Tom Holland is going to be in Venom 2, from what we understand. That doesn't necessarily mean that we're ever going to see Venom in the MCU.
Yeah.
And so this could just be a cross-transfer because Sony owns the rights to that character.
Yeah.
And so they're just using him for another way, more than likely probably setting up Sinister Six, and they're going to include Morbius in this. Who knows? But look, it's cool. It's interesting. It gets people talking, which is exactly why they did it. The buzz on it that was going on, as my Twitter timeline was blown up with people like, oh my god, it takes place in the MCU. Oh my god, Sam Raimi's Spider-Man's called a murderer. Like, what does this mean? And
have you noticed? Yes, everyone's talking about this, but no one that I've really seen, maybe here and there, has said like, this movie looks amazing. This movie, yeah, I mean, everyone is saying, oh, it's the MCU. Oh, look, it's Vulture. Oh, Spider-Man's a murderer. No one's saying like, wow, this movie looks really good.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I've seen some people talk about the movie in a good way. But it's just because it seemed like the movie took forever to get going. And
Well, it feels like one of those, in my opinion, Sony just all of a sudden went like, we're making Silver Sable Black Cat. We're making more. Now you've got me saying Morbius. We're making this. And like everyone was just kind of like, okay, which one's gonna actually happen?
Yeah.
And then like Morbius kind of like started to happen to people who are like, oh, this one looks like it's gonna happen. And then now it's like, oh, now there's a trailer. Now it's really gonna happen. But all the other ones were like shelved and whatever. So I mean, there was no huge hype to it like Venom was. And to me, it is still very interesting that of all, Spider-Man has easily top 3 the best villains of all time. Still kind of surprised this is the second one that they're going after.
It's Sony. That's all I can really say. It's Sony.
Yeah.
I mean, look, I don't know. Nobody asked for this movie. Nobody wanted this movie when it was first announced. Jared Leto playing the character obviously makes it more interesting because he is such a talented guy.
Don't judge him for Joker because he is a phenomenal actor.
Yeah, definitely not. And now if it is included in the MCU, that's more interesting because we know that the deal that Marvel and Sony made, what could possibly come from it. But I mean, they tried to wow us with these reveals. The problem is they gave us 2 different wows, and the fact that it's essentially connecting to 2 different universes. Now, if Tom Holland's Spider-Man like plays into it, and he's in fact maybe his suit turns into the Sam Raimi Spider-Man, I don't know, but you have Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man from 2000 and 2002, and then you have Tom Holland's Spider-Man from 15 and 17. I don't know. I mean, look. I'll be honest. When it says murderer across that sign, like I'm intrigued by that.
Yeah.
But then you throw in Michael Keaton's character from Homecoming, and you're like, well, wait a second. These are two different franchises, 2 different universes, in a time when the MCU didn't exist. Like, I don't know. It seems very confusing, and it seems like Sony continues to make the same mistakes they've always made in like trying to do too much. Like, why does this movie have to be connected to anything?
Yeah.
Like, I would much rather see a single story about Morbius and learn about this character
and then jump into it.
Yeah,
I completely agree with you.
Like Venom. Like, look, the movie. Like, I didn't like Venom at all. I didn't. Like, okay, there's redeeming qualities, sure, but I didn't care for the movie as much as a lot of other people did. It made a buttload of money, but the movie didn't connect to anything that we know of now, and now they're doing that with the sequel.
Yeah.
And so that's the way to go, and I was hoping that they would have done that, but now they're. Not only are they introducing a whole brand new character that we've never seen before that seems so weird compared to anything they've ever done, but then they're including 2 different Spider-Mans. Like, are they hinting at the Spider-Verse in live action? Like, that's kind of what it seems in a way. Who knows? Am I intrigued by the fact that it says murderer? Yes. But are we going to see Tobey Maguire back as Spider-Man? Like, it just all seems so confusing. It really does.
Yeah, I think when it comes down to it, Sony definitely seems to have won that MCU like Sony battle. At first it was like, oh, MCU Marvel got the better end of the stick there with Spider-Man. Now I'm starting to go, crap. I think Sony kind of got the better end of this, because if stuff is connected, like they're showing, here's the thing, you hinting alone that this is connected to the MCU just got you a couple $100 million more, because people are now going to go see this movie thinking, I mean, the naive people that don't freak out about it like us are going to think that's an MCU movie. Second thing is, now you got the other people that are like, do I need to watch this in order to know what's going on with the MCU? You've now just solidified that this movie is going to make a buttload of money with or without it being good and maybe being in the MCU, because people are going to go see it to make sure. You just put Spider-Man in it. People are the general casual fans are going to think it's a Spider-Man spinoff. So they just bought themselves a couple extra $100 million just off of that alone. And what makes me nervous is something like this could be crap And I'm not saying it is, and I'm hoping for the best. I really am, because nothing. You shouldn't talk down on movies because you want them all to be good, because then it's going to make one giant timeline good. But here's the thing. We can now spend a lot of money on this movie, put money into this, and it can be crap. And now they're just going to keep funneling these things out because it's making money. Because what are they really trying to do at the end of the day? Make a buttload of money. Okay? It is now, if it's even maybe connected to MCU, people are going to go see it to see whether it is or it's not. And that's my fear, is that they're just going to start pumping out these movies like it's connected to Spider-Man. It's connected to Spider-Man, and it's just going to be random characters here and there.
Well, I will counter that in two ways. One, the average audience the average audience will not know who Michael Keaton's character is, because there's a name. They didn't say Adrian Toomes, right? Yeah. It was just Michael Keaton in a jumpsuit. If I went and talked to any of my buddies who just went to go see Spider-Man movies, and they saw Michael Keaton, they're not going to remember him for his Homecoming. They're not going to connect the two. Unless they hear a name or they hear the fact that he's playing, or that's Vulture. Then they will connect it. Unless there's a pure connection of, like, through the marketing, like, Vulture's in the movie, they're not going to know who Michael Keaton is.
But then that's saying you don't really remember Spider-Man Homecoming because he is the villain of that movie.
Yes, but people aren't going to connect Michael Keaton from Homecoming because he's not going to be in this movie that much. Remember, he's in prison right now. It's not like Morbius is going to be spending 50% of the movie in prison. But the second thing I was going to say is that we also have to remember that, yes, Sony has the rights to all these characters. Kevin Feige and Marvel are still the ones that say, like, okay, you can use this, but this isn't coming in our universe. So they're not going to be pumping out movies left and right for the MCU because that's still up to Marvel and Kevin Feige. And whether or not they pump out movies, they're not going to be connected to the MCU. If they pump out 3 a year, I guarantee you these random characters like you're talking about are not going to be connected, because that still ultimately lies in the hands of Feige and Marvel. They say what connects and what doesn't. Now, Sony says, well, yeah, you can use this character, but ultimately it's Kevin Feige's decision to be like, make a Venom franchise all you want. Now, can I use him? And then Sony's like, sure, you can use him. Or Feige's like, no, I don't want to use him. So that's just my thing, is like they're going to pump out all these movies. That's Sony's MO, always has been. They've always tried to make this gigantic franchise with Spider-Man because it's the biggest property in the world. It makes a buttload of money. Well, look at Venom. It made a buttload of money, right? Spider-Man wasn't even in it. But it's still Marvel's decision to be like, sure, but this isn't going to be connected to the MCU. It's not Sony's decision. Like, if they're making a Morbius movie that's connected to the MCU, you bet your ass that Kevin Feige and Marvel's like, yeah, sure, you can do that.
Stop saying Morbius.
I said Morbius.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I said Morbius. Morpheus, whatever, same thing.
No, not just
name
Morpheus.
Morbius. Name
Morpheus. Disney, just buy Spider-Man back, honestly.
That's going to cost more than Star Wars would.
Okay.
That's a lot of money.
I know. Star Wars. That's still. This is right tangent. It still blows my mind. Star Wars was only bought for $4 billion.
It's George Lucas, man. It's only one man, not a company.
Still. Yeah. I didn't love what I saw. I'm intrigued, but I didn't love what I saw. I'll still see it. I'm not gonna not see it. I mean, I'm hard pressed to not ever see a comic book movie. So whether it looks like poop or it looks like a star in the sky, like, I'm gonna end up seeing it. Am I gonna like it? I don't know. But Jared Leto intrigues me because he's a phenomenal actor.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna see it. Now, I hate how every single time they put Jared Leto in a movie, he's always like the suave, like, good-looking guy, and how he turns into, like, he goes from being the sick doctor to, like, sexy Jared Leto. They literally show him, like, shirtless walking around, and then now he's gonna turn, like, ugly. Like, I'm like, I don't know. And I'm not a huge fan of the way the Morbius looks. I think
it looks cool. That's the one thing I'll say. I think it looks cool.
Yeah, he doesn't look bad. I like that he's not going to be like sexy vampire. Like, I'm glad they didn't just do that because Jared Leto's doing it. I don't know. He's kind of got like a mustache in that like close picture, and that drives me nuts. But yeah, I mean, we'll see. I'm intrigued. It'll be interesting. I think a second trailer, when the time comes, will probably give us definitely a bit more of what we're talking about right now. Yeah, I don't know. I almost kind of wish they kind of would have teased us with one of those two reveals in the next one.
Yeah,
but then again, we'd probably be like, why are they showing us this now right before it comes out?
There's always a positive and a negative.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, we're gonna move on to our next one. Our next topic is the second little teaser trailer. I say it's a teaser, but everyone's saying it's full trailer. Black Widow came out during the college national championship game. It looks freaking awesome. We see all these main characters that we've been seeing. We see Florence Pugh. We see Scarlett Johansson, David Harbour. Why am I drawing blank on her name right now? Because I want to say who I think she's going to end up being, but Rachel Weisz. Just took me a second. I was trying to think of too many things. Yeah, looks dope. Kind of, in a way, almost showed kind of like a lot of the same stuff we saw from the first one a little bit. They were
towards the back end. There were definitely similar scenes.
We saw her superhero landing, like when she comes out.
I love that. I love that sequence.
That's dope. We saw her when she jumps out of the plane and does the like maneuvering through the sky.
One of my favorite shots.
But yeah, that looks dope.
The trailer definitely started off with some new takes, some new scenes. We
heard a lot more from Florence Pugh's character.
The reason why I say it's a trailer is because it's story based. We know what the story is. Yeah. And so, but the footage that we see is, it almost feels like different camera angles for the same shots that we've seen, which is always a good way to lead on audiences, I guess you could say. Not show new footage, but just show it in a different point of view. And so the trailer's really cool. I think it looks really awesome. I've been excited from this one from the beginning. Black Widow's always been a favorite of mine from the OGs. And, you know, obviously that has a lot to do with Scarlett Johansson and what she's done with the character. But I think that they've captured a really cool light for this character. And, you know, after spending 10 years with her and getting to know her in a different way, we're kind of seeing this different side of her. Now she's going back home. All these characters that she's interacted with for years before she was with the Avengers. We know
she's on the run now.
Yeah, and it takes place... mainly takes place between Civil War and Infinity War, which is a very interesting time for the entire universe.
For me, it sounded like it almost literally solidified, like it's picking up almost right after Civil War.
Well, yeah, she is. Well,
because Tony said at the end of Civil War, "You're a criminal now." Well, yeah, and she takes off, and now the government seems to be going after her.
I think it's a little bit more towards. Oh no, that's true. That's true.
I mean, this could be like months to.
I wouldn't be surprised if some of it takes place between Infinity War and Endgame.
Probably. But I'm saying I think I could see it starting pretty closely to Civil War.
No, I really like what I look for, and like I've said the entire time, is that it goes back to this spy thriller vibe, this hand-to-hand stuff where it's not superhero fanatics and stuff like that. It's much more grounded. Like obviously there's going to be much more, or there's going to be your superhero type stuff, like with Taskmaster, how he's able to do, you know, anomaly type things with his skills, and Black Widow obviously and stuff like that. But there's not going to be the Iron Man or the Hulk or the Thor, that type of stuff.
You're not going to see superpowers here.
Yeah, and so I really like that, because I like when Marvel does the subgenre stuff, and it's not just a comic book movie. It's, you know, like Ant-Man was a heist thriller or a heist comedy thriller inside of a superhero movie. Yeah. And Winter Soldier was a spy thriller inside of a superhero movie. And so I'm looking forward to seeing what that is and how different it is. And I really like the footage. I think the action looks really cool. She's always been incredible at action, that character. Yeah. And so having a bunch of them around and coming from this world is going to be really cool to learn about it. So I'm all about it. I'm really interested.
Now we see Scarlett Johansson doing her famous jump in the air, tackle you with her legs around your head.
She's got to be like a Spider-Man.
Yeah. I mean,
gotta live up to the name.
Jumping around. We see that there are new widows here and there. this one definitely featured a lot more of Taskmaster.
Yeah.
Towards the end.
The final little sequence there on the bridge.
They show, and they kind of almost like put all the stuff people were complaining about at the end of the last trailer. Where's Taskmaster's hood? Where's Taskmaster's shield? And then it's like, here's your dang shield.
The shield was in the first one.
Yeah, but it wasn't like predominant like this. Like this, there's
people need to just stop freaking out, man. It's so annoying.
Yeah,
so annoying.
We still don't know who it is. I have my theory that I've had since the beginning. I don't want to put it out there though, because I don't want people to be like, oh, "That's it," if that is right. Yeah, I'm definitely more on board for Taskmaster in this. I don't think that character is going to be a one-off.
I do.
Really?
Unfortunately, because it's just unless they do multiple movies with her, like unless they make him or her arch enemy in a way, I don't see Taskmaster stepping into another franchise.
You know?
Nah, unfortunately, because of the time it takes place. I think it's a character that is formidable.
Lock the Taskmaster up, and then all of a sudden appears later on.
Yeah, I mean, you could easily do that. I just think that this villain fits perfectly for a Black Widow character.
Yeah. I mean, Taskmaster, you're never going to really want to go up against a superpower. Because
look at the characters that are left. Like, you don't see Taskmaster against Spider-Man because they already have a great arsenal over there. You don't see him or her up against Captain Marvel, Black Panther, a Scarlet Witch,
Hulk.
a Thor, a Hulk, Ant-Man. Like, it just...
I could maybe see, and this is like maybe like a Black Panther kind of, because
he has too many good villains to go off of, and he has too many different things he can do in that world. I don't see that, like, that character just doesn't fit inside of a Black Panther franchise for me. So if it's not in if he or she is not in the Black Widow franchise, I don't see he or she anywhere else, in my opinion.
Unless Florence Pugh's character takes over the range,
well, yeah,
and
I mean,
Taskmaster shows up.
That's possible, but I think that Marvel is,
because Taskmaster is a pretty decent sized Marvel villain.
No, totally.
It's definitely a name.
Yeah, no, I agree.
So
I totally agree with you. Yeah, totally.
I don't know. We'll see. I mean, I could definitely see. I mean, this character seems to fit perfectly for this type of vibe they're going, where it's no powers, hand to hand, strictly training, fighting type stuff.
Like, I don't know how they would line up or whatever, but the only other thing that I could see it lining up with, he or she fitting in with, is Falcon and Winter Soldier. That world. Taskmaster fits in that type of world.
That would be good.
Like Black Widow, Captain America, like that type of world. And now there's only one of those left at the moment, being Black Widow, as far as the movie goes. And
that could be cool.
And Bucky and Sam, that world seems to be tackling other stuff. And so for now, I don't see us seeing him or her after this movie. But if something goes on with Winter Soldier and Falcon down the line, then possibly. Or if it's so much of a success and we see more Black Widow movies, then maybe they make him or her to be like an arch enemy.
Yeah, and I mean, it doesn't even have to be the same person in the suit. It could literally just be like someone, a copycat. That, I mean, all Taskmaster's real power, if you will, I use that term lightly because it's not a power, is he or she is a fantastic memorizer, to the fact that it's mimicking hand-to-hand combat and stuff like that. That could work with someone, like you said. I could literally see that being perfect for some type of should I just call him Captain America right now, or just Falcon still?
No,
Falcon and Winter Soldier.
Just call him Sam.
That could be cool. I could see that. Maybe just like kind of like a Thunderbolts, even maybe some type of stuff like that, like bad guy, something.
It could be interesting.
Yeah,
so I could see him fitting in something like that if they do that.
Yeah. So so that's our second one, and our final topic of the day is the rumor that has been circulating. We don't know if it is confirmed or not. Is that the property rights to Hulk and Namor the Submariner have seemingly reverted back to Marvel and DC. Or excuse me, Marvel and Disney, sorry. And I mean, to me, half of that is kind of like sweet. Half of them, the other half is kind of like, too little, too late, because you can still use Namor. Hulk's kind of in this like, what do we do with him stage? Like, I don't know if he's gonna heal from Endgame, but right now he ain't gonna be able to look.
Well, he'll never heal. He'll never heal.
And that's what I'm thinking.
But I don't think so. I mean, obviously this is a rumor, so let's take this with a giant grain of salt at the moment.
Huge grain of salt. To be honest, we've been hearing about. We knew Universal had Hulk. Namor has kind of always been like, and Ken Feige even said like, we don't know who really owns the rights to him. So this is heavy grain of salt, because I mean, this is assuming that someone.
And we also have to keep in mind that it's not all of the rights. Like, it's certain, like, Hulk is just the distribution rights.
Yeah.
And so it's all pen and paper and conference rooms and stuff like that. Like, it's just that type of stuff. But as far as, like, let's just say that it did happen, and that this is true, I don't think Marvel is in the business of making a solo Bruce Banner movie anymore.
No. That's
they've been
too
using
far
him.
too gone.
I'm not gonna say it's too far too gone, but it's because they've been using him really well.
He's been used fantastic, in my opinion. Like, almost like where I'm like, you kind of didn't really need your own movie.
Hulk's not a type. I don't think he's a character that needs his own type of movie. We know his story. And you can tell his story.
Hulk
like
smash. He gets angry.
They told his story perfectly in Avengers, where he had an accident. He's been in hiding. He turns into this monster. Boom, bang, bang. Let's move on. Like, that's how it is. The much more interesting part of the Hulk history is how She-Hulk gets her powers. Hulk is always going to be the more popular one. He's the big green dude, the green monster. Like, he's the guy.
He's Hulk. Everyone knows who Hulk is.
But as far as stories go, She-Hulk's is much more interesting, in my opinion. And we don't know if it's just Hulk's rights, if it's the entire Hulk character. So that could include She-Hulk, or maybe side characters, or like, we know for a fact
villains.
We know for a fact it includes Abomination, Betty Ross,
Thunderbolt Ross.
Yeah, I mean, and they were able to use Thunderbolt Ross because they were never making a solo movie.
Yeah.
Same as the Hulk, but.
But he does have some big, because he can. He's the one that creates the Thunderbolts, so that's kind of a big.
But if this were to happen, I wonder if this happened a long time ago, because if that is the case, Marvel would have had to get the rights back to make the She-Hulk series, and that's what a lot of people are thinking about.
Yeah,
they're making a solo series, and I don't know if TV works into the deal, but they're making a She-Hulk series. It hasn't come out yet. So I wonder if people are just now getting the word of this, and they secretly made a deal like months and months and months ago.
And again, we don't even know what really was owned by what. For all we know, Hulk was the only person owned by Universal, and Marvel and Disney kept all the rights to every other character. Yeah. We have no idea. The thing we know is Universal at least had Hulk because he has his own ride in Florida. He has, the movie was produced by him. I mean, Universal clearly had Hulk.
Yeah.
Other than that, we don't really know for sure where everything else lies.
It's very interesting, but I think that it could be very cool if it did happen. Honestly, I don't. If they got the Hulk rights back, it doesn't really mean a lot. It really doesn't, because they've used the character for so long already. And again,
he's been around since he's the second one to have a movie since this whole thing started.
And as far as Namor,
that's the one I'm excited about.
They're 100% going to make a solo movie of Namor at some point, which is a matter of it's a matter of when. We know the rumblings of him being in Black Panther 2.
God, I hope that happens.
Atlantis versus Wakanda and that type of stuff, because they have a history.
I will lose my mind.
Wakanda's off the coast of Africa, and you have Atlantis there, and etc. So that could easily be the case.
Little hint that we got in Endgame,
but I think that there was no hint in Endgame.
An earthquake in the waters off the shore, off the coast of Africa. Stop it! That was a hint.
So I think that that's the obvious one, and that maybe they just threw in Hulk because Universal is never going to make a solo Hulk movie because they can't do it without Marvel's permission. Yeah. So why not just throw it in with the deal of Namor? So. That one's obviously going to happen at some point. I think that Namor is a much more interesting character at this point to do because we haven't explored the oceans in the MCU. And he has a history of Black Panther, and that could be a really cool addition because he's a different kind of character, different ethnicity, that type of stuff.
Yeah.
And so it means a lot at this point. But until we get official word, the speculation is a lot of fun. I think that it could mean a lot of cool things coming down the road for the MCU.
Yeah, so for me, the thing that I'm most pumped about, if this is true, would be the Namor stuff, because Namor's kind of an a-hole. Like, he clearly has his own agenda, and I don't see Marvel right off the bat going like, Namor's getting his own movie, because people are going to be like, oh, so this is Marvel's Aquaman? I can absolutely see Wakanda versus Atlantis. That would be dope to be seeing like those two civilizations going off each other. We know that he has connections to the mutants, so that could be some type of tie-in.
There's a lot of things that are coming down the road, the pipeline that can and will connect. Not will, but that can connect to him.
Yeah, and I mean, Marvel is clearly hitting the diversity line. Namor is not a basic white character. He is not, like, he's not white. So that's another diversity type casting, which is great for the MCU. And like we said, we've been hearing this rumor for a while that Black Panther 2 might literally just be Namor versus the Wakandans, and that's happened in the comic book, so it's not
out of the realm
of that, and it's kind of a perfect way to introduce him, because like Namor, like I said, is an a-hole. He is kind of like self-interest. He wants to do his stuff, which could be a great way to give that, like, he's the villain, whatever, but then he becomes an ally towards the end of the movie, but still, like,
and we've never seen that before.
Yeah, so it'd be interesting to see. I'm definitely more excited about Namor. Who knows what we can get with, I mean, like you said, the whole character is pretty much done and used. It's the stuff that Hulk has with him that is now going to be what we see in the MCU, because he's pretty much nothing at this point.
Well, and again,
he's going to be more brains than he is.
I just want to make sure that we mention that with these rights, as far as we know, with Namor and Hulk, Marvel, I mean, obviously they've been using him since 2012. Marvel can use Namor and Hulk however they want. And so when it comes to Namor, like, say he isn't Black Panther 2, that's a possibility right now, because it's not a solo Namor movie. Yeah. It's not just about him and his world and all that type of stuff. They would have to go through Universal for that. And so the reason we're talking about this is because if this did happen and they did get these rights back, like, more than likely, the scenario is that Black Panther 2 will probably feature him in one way or another, whether it's as an ally or as the villain, or as like a villain to begin with, and then they use him for a big bad later on or something like that in the movie, like some kind of storyline with that. Or a
villain that turns ally to stop something else.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Exactly what I'm saying. And so that could happen right this second.
Yeah.
But if that character becomes possible and Marvel wants to do a solo movie, this is where this deal comes into play. That they have to be able to use the distribution rights to make a solo movie. Otherwise, they have to stamp Universal on approval with it, which is what Sony essentially does with the Marvel characters. They use Marvel as distribution, essentially with the Marvel logo, but they don't actually make it by themselves because they can't. Again, like I said, it's pen, paper, and conference room stuff. Like, that's what it is.
Yeah.
So.
And, I mean, we don't really need a Namor movie right now. It would be right off the heels of Aquaman. We'd have two kind of almost tellings of the same thing, different whatever. It makes more sense for him to come in through someone else's movie and then eventually have his own stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's our topics for today. Our three little round topics that we got right there. You got a little bit of I'm drawing a blank. Black Panther, Black Widow, Morbius, and the acquisition, possible rumor of Hulk and Namor, which all very interesting things. We kind of stuck to Marvel-ish theme today.
So all that's really is going on. We could have. So we were thinking about talking about Joker and the Oscar stuff, but we're leaving that for now this weekend because we're talking about all the Oscar nominations. And so that, I mean, obviously that was the big one because it led the Oscar nomination. So we'll talk about this weekend. As far as Joker goes, nothing else really going on in the comic book world.
Yeah. So hopefully, the New Year's things will start picking up a little bit. We'll get some more stuff.
Well, Birds of Prey's next month, so I'm sure we'll hear a lot about next.
Yeah, we're
next
even hearing stuff about Eternals.
Yeah.
Bunch of good stuff starting to happen. But for Nerd Nation, issue number 14. I'm Brian. This is Jake. Check us out on iTunes, Spotify, Anchor. What else am I forgetting? It's pretty much anywhere you can listen.
YouTube.
Yeah.
I mean, anywhere on audio and video you can find us, guys. And I want to plug the casting table because it's a very similar type show.
Casting table's fun.
We fan cast characters. Like say that this Namor stuff pops up and it becomes more relevant. We sit down and fan cast him, and we do a lot of other characters. We've done Green Lantern, we've done Dr. Aphra from Star Wars,
She-Hulk,
we did
Moon
She-Hulk, Moon Knight. We did a lot of it, and so it's a really cool show, very connected to the comic book stuff. So we're gonna plug it here.
Yeah. So again, thank you for joining us. Hit that subscribe button if you enjoyed what you like to see and you want to see more. The like button as well. We really appreciate it. And until next time, we will see you guys later. Oh, leave comments, absolutely. Then we will see you guys later.
Hey everyone, Jacob Bartley here. Thanks for watching. If you want to check out something similar from Apocaflix Movies, click this video up here. You want something a little bit different? Check out this video down here. If you haven't done so, please subscribe to Apocaflix Movies and let us know your thoughts in the comments section. We always love to hear from you. Thanks for watching.